This is Kathy Peterson. I'm with the International KuneKune Pigs Society. We will be hosting videos very frequently on various topics within the KuneKune community. So this is our continued learning series. Again, it is sponsored by the IKKPS, which is the International KuneKune Pigs Society. We are an official KuneKune registry, and we are centered around helping breeders be successful. So let's dig in. Today's topic, we're going to be discussing herd management for KuneKune pigs. The way that you manage your herd can directly affect how your KuneKunes turn out and how productive they are within your herd. So let's dig on in. Herd management basically is how to get the most out of your herd with a few basics of herd management. In this video, we will cover all you need to know about caring for your KuneKune pigs and how to keep them safe. So, herd management has been around for centuries. That term has been around forever. So what exactly is herd management? Herd management is basically how are you keeping your herd safe from predators? How are you keeping them safe from disease, vaccinations, deworming, how to feed them properly. So those are some of the basics of herd management, and we're going to go into each one of those today. We've also written an article that will be posted below where you can actually read the article with some information that's a little bit different from the video. Okay? So, what are the predators for KuneKune pigs? Well, depending on where you live, that can vary. State to state, it can vary from Canada to the United States. But in general, you have to worry about bears, coyotes, wolves, cougars, and something that everybody has to unfortunately deal with is dogs that are roaming free. Dogs will sometimes get into your fencing, attack even adult pigs. I actually had that happen at one of my farms. 5 wild dogs got in and attacked a meat pig that I had. Tore his ear. And of course he did survive, but we had to do a lot of, medical emergency things with him to get him to survive. So keeping your herd safe is vital to your success as a breeder. Some people do that with electric fencing. Some people do it with livestock guardian dogs. You have to particularly watch for piglets. I haven't found, other than that one attack, that dogs tend to attack full-grown KuneKunes as much. That's not to say that it can't happen. It can absolutely happen. But what you have to be concerned about the most are your piglets. Some people will keep them safe. Most predators are out roaming at night, so they will lock their KuneKune piglets in at night with their mother. Mom will do everything she can to protect them, but she really has no way other than creating a ruckus and trying to charge at a predator to really protect her piglets. So that's on you. So I encourage you to talk with people that are also breeding KuneKunes in the state that you might reside in. They will have ideas for what has worked for them so that you can avoid any catastrophes happening within your herd. So consider livestock guardian dogs. They are excellent and they have a natural ability to protect your herd. So choose wisely. There's several different breeds out there that you can choose from. Do your homework. Okay, so vaccinations are really important. There are, even though this is a heritage breed and they're very hardy, you still have to protect them from erysipelas, different parasites. What we strongly recommend for vaccinations, this is Ronnie Shield TX4. This is a wonderful thing to have. That is what we vaccinated our animals with. You can get this at Valley Vet. It's kind of like a vaccination you give a dog. It's a combo vaccination with different upper respiratory items available in there. So that's really important. You vaccinate your herd usually twice a year. Piglets need 2 initial doses. The dosage for Ronnie Shield piglets is 1 cc, as you can see right here. Ronnie Shield for adults, they get 2 cc's. Regardless, they have to have 2 initial doses when you start. So you would do it 2 times. Okay? Now, for piglets, let's say that you've had a litter of piglets. Usually around 3 to 5 days old, you would give them an iron injection. When they reach 10 to 14 days, that is when you would do a pneumonia vaccine. I did do the pneumonia vaccine, but I only did it in the wintertime litters. Okay, at 5 weeks of age, that's when they would get their first dewormer, which is ivermectin, and you can see that right here. So, they get 1 cc per 50 pounds. That is the normal dosage. So you can mix in the dewormer along with the Ronnie Shield in 1 syringe so that you only have to stick them once. That's usually done around the age of 5 weeks. Then you're going to repeat that dosage at 7 weeks. And usually 7 weeks is a great time to go ahead and pull your DNA, microchip, ear tag, or tattoo, whichever you prefer. What I used to do is with the microchip, I would pull my DNA, I'd microchip, I'd pull the DNA, I would put the sticker from the microchip on their sales contract, I would put the sticker on their DNA so that I know both of those matched. Then I would remove the piglet from the area so that I don't accidentally DNA the same animal a second time. That way you won't have any mix-ups for DNA later on. So this is a great little general chart here to go by. Okay? Now, when I started with KuneKunes, I had a 4-month-old that I was having to give vaccinations to. Actually, antibiotics. He got erysipelas. My first Kune I got at 2 weeks old. I did not know any better. I did not have a mentor. He was bottle fed. He was a wonderful little piglet, but I didn't realize about vaccinations. That's another reason that I'm so dedicated to trying to bring you information so that you don't encounter the things I did. It cost me about $500 to save his life. So had I known, he would have been protected, but he was not. I had a very difficult time trying to hold him to give vaccinations. So I began to search for an easier way to give vaccinations. As I wanted to be a breeder, I knew that that would be a part of daily life just about for me. So I came up with the slap shot. I watched some videos. It was used very frequently in other livestock, and I actually introduced that to the KuneKune world. There's some good videos out there about using it, but it is very easy to give vaccinations, any kind of medications that you need to with the slap shot. This slap shot is available at most Tractor Supplies. You can also get them at Valley Vet. Having 2 or 3 on hand is always a good idea. So what you do is you can use a cowboy pistol, and the part that I just circled, you can attach a cowboy pistol there, or I had a cowboy pistol, but I didn't like it that much. I would just attach the syringe right to the end of that, put your needle on the end of it, and use that. Most of the time, the best advice I can give you is to give your shots while your pigs are eating. Get them used to you touching behind their ear when you're rubbing them and petting them, so that they don't think that every time you touch them there, they're getting ready to get a vaccination. The ivermectin does burn, so you have to get this in them kind of quickly. Adults, you would want to use a 20 gauge needle. For piglets, you would use a 22 gauge needle. In the ideal place, if you will take a moment and reach right behind your ear, there's a really soft, fleshy place right there. that is where you give the vaccination on the pig as well. So when you're out there messing with your pigs, just kind of get a feel for where that area is. That is where you can give the injection. It's right behind the shadow of the ear. That makes it much easier. It's fleshy and it's easy to get the syringe in there. Okay, so it's really important that you vaccinate your animals to keep them safe. An easy way of doing that is by doing January 1st and July 1st. If you get in the habit of that is the time that you vaccinate your pigs, it'll be easier to keep track of. Now, keep in mind, as you have piglets, then they are going to be getting theirs at 5 and 7 weeks of age. Sorry about the phone. So they'll be getting theirs at 5 to 7 weeks. And then after that, you can get them over into the schedule of the July 1st and the January 1st. Okay? Now we're going to talk about feeding. Okay? Overfeeding a Kune is easy. KuneKune in the Maori language in New Zealand means fat and round. So KuneKunes in general tend to be a fatter pig. They are a lard pig. Now, to maintain them when they do have pasture, you only need to feed them 2 8-ounce cups twice a day of feed per piglet or pig. Okay? I'm going to tell you some experience that I had. I switched over to Nutrina. I always fed Blue Seal, which are these products right down here that you can see right here. I loved those. They changed the formula, so I decided to change my feed. Okay, they became home fresh. So I changed to Nutrina. Not all pig feeds are created equal. Nutrina, for the whole 6 months that I was trying it and feeding them, not one animal got pregnant. Maybe your experience will be a little bit different, but when I find something that had an issue, and I had another friend who was feeding the same thing and she was having a hard time as well getting her animals pregnant. So stay away from Nutrina if you can. Okay? So I went back to Blue Seal product and tried the new Home Fresh. The one that I fed, it is recommended that they get 16% and under. However, I did break the rule. This is 17%. It's Sow Performance. And that is the one that I chose. I noticed the biggest difference in my herd when I started feeding that piglets looked better. They were healthier. They were hardier. My herd was hardier. Whatever you decide to use, just make sure that it is, 16, 17% protein, and just monitor how well your herd looks. You can really tell the difference in a good feed when your piglets are produced. Okay, so again, 2 cups twice a day, 8-ounce cups. Okay, so that's what you want to feed your pigs in general. In the summertime, when your pastures are really, really rich, that's the time that you can take a little weight off of them if they got a little fat over the winter, and you can reduce it by about a half a cup. Breeding animals, you want to make sure that they do get that grain. It's kind of like if you ate carrots every day, all day, sooner or later you wouldn't have the nutrients and nutrition that you needed, because it was the same food all the time. So grazing alone, while they can fatten on grazing alone, it's best for breeding stock if you do give them some grain. Now, something very important to note with feeding: do not increase the feed for a pregnant sow. It is said that a KuneKune female is in her best health pregnant. Okay, so she still stays on those 2 cups twice a day, 8-ounce cups. Don't increase it until them piglets are actually out of there, sorry, not here. So that's when you want to increase the grain, is once the pigs are actually here. So what I did in my own personal program is I would feed 2 cups twice a day. Once the piglets were born, I doubled that, depending on how many piglets were born as well. So I would double the feed. So now we're at 4 cups twice a day. When the piglets reach about 2 weeks old and between 4 and 5 weeks old, I would again increase the amount that the mother received. Those are times when the piglets are pulling more milk and they need that for production. So for their milk production. So as the piglets are pulling more, you of course want to feed mom more. Okay, you keep increasing that until the piglets are about 5 weeks old. Weaning usually starts around 7 weeks old. Okay, so mom will go back after she's finished weeding her litter, and she won't be very happy about it, but she'll go back to her 2 cups twice a day and her grazing. Now those are suggestions, and just like above with the vaccinations, you always want to check with your vet before starting a vaccination protocol. Never substitute our advice or any other breeder's advice for advice from your veterinarian. They will know what is needed in your particular area. The same thing is with a feeding. I can explain to you what I did as a breeder, and I bred for 10 years, so I have quite a bit of experience. And I actually got another breeder started on the sow performance. So we've been around a while. I can tell you what we do, but you're going to have to find the balance for your herd. But I can tell you, if you take really good care of your mom while she has piglets, she will take very good care of your piglets. Okay, so in this video, we've learned a lot, and I hope that you found it helpful. How you feed your piglets depends on how they turn out. Have you seen some of those piglets with long snouts? My husband came up with the best thing I've ever heard about that. He told me that if you do not feed your KuneKunes, God is going to feed your pigs for you. He is going to let their snouts grow longer so they can turn up the pasture and get to the roots, because the roots of the grass are a little bit more nutritious, and that will affect how they turn out. So if you are feeding them consistently, the 2 cups suggested twice a day per piglet, in most cases you're going to have those nice round heads, the shorter snouts, and overall health will look so much better on your coonies. Okay, so you want to feed them. You want to make sure that they get the nutrition that they need. Okay, how you manage your herd can also affect if they get pregnant or not. Like I said, for 6 months, none of mine got pregnant when I changed to a food that just didn't work for us. So you want to make sure that you have them on a good feed and that you're feeding them enough. Now, your herd management style can also affect the age that you get to harvest your pigs. So if you are trying to fatten them only on grazing, they will mature a little bit slower. If you give them primary pasture, but you're still feeding them some grain, you'll be able to harvest them at an earlier age. In general, we were able to harvest ours between 9 and 12 months of age. And it really didn't matter if we waited a little longer. As an experiment, we did a 9-month-old, a 12-month-old, and an 18-month-old. Our hanging weights were 101, 106.5, and 116. So waiting 18 months for that last one, it really didn't amount in any more meat. So 9 to 12 months, you can definitely hit that depending on your feeding. As I said before, we will be posting more videos, so don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so that you can stay informed when new videos are posted. I will post in the comments below the article, and we invite you to learn more about KuneKunes with IKKPIs. We have a ton of information on our websites. We have ebooks, we have articles, we have a blog, where we frequently update with new articles and information. We're very active in helping our breeders be successful, and we feel a big part of that is education. So if you haven't joined IKKPS, I invite you to check us out at ikkps.org. We hope you enjoyed this and have a great day. Thank you for watching.